The fantasy of control is a common idea that we all have in our relationships to some extent that says that I am able or I should be able to change the way my partner shows up in the relationship. So one of the ways that fantasy of control has shown up in my relationship is in deep hostile resentment. I used to spend a lot of energy and time resenting my wife. And this was part of my fantasy of control because this resentment is linked to the idea that there's something I can do to make her change, when in reality, she gets to make all of her decisions about how she shows up in the relationship, and I don't get to make any of those decisions. Letting go of the fantasy of control is a critical step on the path from a place of fear, resentment, and anger to a place of kindness and courage. It requires facing the reality that you are in a relationship with someone who gets to make all of their own decisions, over whom you have no control and you get no say in what they do or what they don't do. That means they can leave you, they can cheat on you, they can be mean to you, they can ignore you, they can do all of those things. Now, they can also treat you wonderfully, but they don't have to, and there's nothing you can do to make them choose one path or the other path. One way of letting go of the fantasy of control is coming to terms with the fact that you as an adult are quite capable of taking care of yourself, and you don't really need your partner to take care of you. So when we were children, we needed our parents to love us, to care for us, to protect us. But as adults, we don't generally need anyone to love us, care for us, or protect us. We want those things, but we don't need them, whereas a child actually needs that. So if you're in a difficult spot in your relationship and you find yourself handling it with resentment and anger and fear, try asking yourself, what would it look like for me to handle this situation with kindness and courage? And it's a big shift and it's a difficult shift, but it's worth at least thinking about it. And often what that means is I am going to try to take care of all of my uncomfortable feelings and sensations in my body. I'm not going to bring those to my partner. But if there is something important for me to share with my partner, maybe there's a request that I have to make or an observation, then I am going to bring that to my partner, but not until I've calmed myself down and I've put myself into a place of kindness and courage. So the way I handle this is when I start to get upset, I'll write down the stories that are in my mind. What is it that I want my partner to change? What am I upset about? I write it down, I'll let it sit overnight, and I'll look at it the next day. And I won't bring that to my partner until I can bring it with a spirit of kindness and courage. So I'm not bringing you any heavy emotions. I'm not bringing you any anger. I'm just telling you, this is what I would like to see. This is what I would like you to do. Or maybe this is what I've observed. So those are kind of the two things that are worth bringing to my partner is this is what I've observed and this is what I would like. Realizing that your observations are probably different than mine and that your desires are also probably different than mine. But it's still important for me to share with you what I want and what I see. In this situation where I'm telling my partner something that they will likely disagree with, it's important to remember two things. First, the energy I bring is a lot more important than the words I say. So kindness is the most effective way of communicating. And if I bring any kind of resentment or heaviness or anger, that's just going to get in the way of what I'm trying to accomplish. The second thing is that communication stands apart from trying to get some kind of certain result. So I'm going to tell you something and you're probably going to disagree and you're probably going to not, grant my wish, but that's okay because my job is not to control or manipulate your actions. My job is to honestly present myself to you. So I'm going to let you know this is what I want and this is what I see without trying to make you comply with my wishes or even agree with my perception.